You thought that you knew him, how he thinks, what he would never ever do, what the two of you stood for, and then he went and had an affair. And just like that, your whole world split into tiny fragments. There's the life that you thought you had, and then there's the truth that you never saw coming. Maybe you saw some texts, maybe you heard some whispers, maybe if you were really unlucky, you got to see some videos. Maybe it was a cold look from him and a gut instinct that just kept you, I don't know, something's not right. No matter which way it came out, the result was the same. You were left questioning everything. The past, your relationship, yourself, everything. It's really interesting to me as a relationship coach that nobody tells you some of the most important things about these often happening events, affairs, right? They don't just break the trust in the relationship or the trust in ourselves or the trust in the other person. They completely shatter your sense of reality. You know, you thought that he wouldn't lie to you like that, that he couldn't look you in the eyes and betray you, that he would never choose somebody else because you wouldn't, not physically, not emotionally, not in any way, shape or form. But here's the kicker. The pain isn't just about what he did. It's about what that meant. Because it wasn't just sex. And sometimes it's not even sex. It's about the secrecy. It's about the lies. It's about the distance. It's about the energy taken away from your life that's given to somebody else. It's knowing that he was living a life outside of you while you were still trying to save the marriage or the relationship that you were in. Of course you're angry. Of course you're sad. But more than anything, what I find is women are confused. Was he always like this? You know, did I miss something? Was I not enough for him? And these questions that come up that are crazy making, they're really dangerous for us. Because at the end of the day, it's the fact that they lied to us that is often the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. We used to trust them, right? But afterwards, we check everything. We're suspicious of everything. When the person we love the most and we trust the most in the world lets us down in this way, the betrayal is immense and it messes with your head. You second guess everything. Was he happy when we went on that holiday? Did he really know that our relationship was over when we made those plans? Did he love me at all? Which parts of the stuff he shared with me were true and which were lies? You start rewriting your past to kind of match up with the betrayal that you're processing, and you start to lose yourself. One of the saddest parts of this often for me is listening to women talk about, you know, wasn't I good enough? Wasn't I worthy enough? Wasn't I pretty enough? What about me made them want to go? They chose somebody 10 years, 20 years younger than me. It must be because I'm getting old. The truth of the matter is, what he did say is everything to do with him and nothing to do with you. The choices he made, the lies he told, they were more about who he is and not about who you are. It didn't happen because you weren't sexy enough or smart enough or anything, you know. It didn't happen because you just missed the signs. Sometimes people cheat because they're too scared to face, hey, I feel unhappy, I feel lonely, I feel disconnected, I feel like I'm getting old. Maybe because they're afraid to confront the mess that they've made of their life. Maybe because they don't feel adequate themselves about their lives. They don't feel like they've achieved the things they wanted to. Because they're chasing a feeling and they don't know how to create it in a life that they've already made with you. An affair is not your mess to carry. It's really important to try and anchor yourself in what do I need to do for me to feel safe again, because in those early days it can feel crazy making. The world can feel upside down. You know, I'm not safe without this person. I'm not safe in love with this person either. And then we can start feeling not safe with ourselves. It's really important for us to speak our own truth, even if our voice shakes. It's okay for us to take a day off and fall apart without apologising to anybody. It's okay for us to write down the lies that we've been told and remind ourselves that actually I'm not crazy. This person did lie to me and he made me feel crazy. He told me that I was just imagining it. It was nothing. It was just all in my head. It's really important when you're in this turmoil of what's going on to just slow down a little bit. You know, if you're on your phone, scrolling through old texts, or replaying conversations, or wondering what the hell you didn't know, I want you to understand that, you know, he was doing what he was doing, and you were doing what you were doing based on what he shared with you. You trusted him, because why wouldn't you trust him? You've been with him a long time. You're not naive. You loved him, and you had no reason to doubt him. The betrayal isn't a sign that you failed. It's a sign that he made choices that were outside of integrity. You didn't miss red flags. He hid them from you. And yes, it hurts. But the feelings you're having right now, the pain you're feeling right now, is not who you are. It is what you are experiencing. It is the grief of and the gravity of this thing that you believed in, possibly for 10 or 20 or 30 or even 40 years, that has now been just shattered into pieces. Try not to question your worth. You know, that should never really be up for debate, ever, at any point in time. Recovering from when a partner's had an affair is a slow process. Some couples make it all the way through and sort it out. Some couples, it actually helps them to reconnect and get honest about what was really going on. For a lot, it is a wedge that is driven deeply into the relationship, and even when people try sometimes, it's just impossible to get over it. I want you to know that this is a process. It's going to take time for you to process what's happened and to grieve the process of the loss, and you'll go through lots of different stages. Please know you're not alone. You're really not. I do a workshop regularly online called Heartbreak to Healing. Many of the women who show up for that free workshop have had a partner have an affair. Many also come out of relationships after trying to keep them together. So you're not alone. If you need support, come along to my channel. I've got a playlist around affairs. I have another one that's about long-term relationships ending. And there's a bunch of videos together that you can sit and watch and just spend some time getting some information. You'll find the little, I don't even know what they're called, the little sign at the top of my screen up here that tells you the next videos. So you can go and have a look at those. If you're stuck, pop me a comment and I'll redirect you to where you need to go. If you have questions and you want some answers, I do every single week. I do a live Q&A call. You're more than welcome to come along and ask questions if you'd like to. And if you're not comfortable asking questions, you will often find help just listening to other people's questions. Look after yourself. This is going to take a bit of time, but you've got it and you're going to get through this. I guarantee that. Take care.